So Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown had a very rocky first few days, and whilst there was a couple of hot fixes here and there to just make the servers at least a little bit better, they did finally take the servers offline yesterday to perform a full maintenance ready for the full final release coming tomorrow. So I thought I'd dive in and check out if this has managed to fix the majority of the problems. However, before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe and turn on notifications to stay updated with everything on the channel. So without further ado, let's dive in. The first error that you was probably going to get with this game was the profile login error. This happened here at the main menu. As you can see, it's looking like it's pretty much working as intended now. Now the second error you would actually get is one of the disconnects once you went into the hotel lobby from wherever your room is. So one of the errors is gone. Let's head over and see if this second error is also going to be a thing of the past. Now in terms of this error, it would basically disconnect you from the server once you walked through that door. It puts you in a sort of cutscene. At that point it would say that it was unable to connect, and then you probably get the save game error, which was the third typical error of it all. So we're going to head out into the lobby. It's going to put us into the cutscene, and as you can see, the error is not there this time. So it is looking like so far so good in terms of the overall maintenance. However, just bear in mind this is still before the final release. I'm pretty sure tomorrow, when everybody can get on the game, it's going to be a lot busier, and that is probably when we're going to see a lot of these server errors start popping up again. Now the next few errors involved free roaming. So the first of these errors was the save game error. What would happen at random, it would say that it was unable to save your game, and no matter how many times you tried, it would completely decline that request to actually save to the servers. So again, that was extremely frustrating. There was a lot of progress lost. You'd have to kind of close the game to get it to go, and then once again go through the title screen, get yourself out of the hotel and get yourself back into free roam. At that point it was all about luck, but as you can see, the save game error seems to be a thing of the past. I played this game for around about 6 hours straight, fully connected to the servers yesterday after the maintenance, and I didn't once run into this error. So free roam is much smoother overall. However, there is still a glitch that does remain, and I don't think this happens to everyone, but it has happened to me personally, and it's something that is still there in game after this kind of whole maintenance and big update to the servers. Of course, I am talking about the dealerships, the meeting points and the fuel stations, as well as some of the workshops as well. Essentially what happens is in a session you are obviously going to go and free roam, and you're going to obviously unlock these places as fast travel points. However, with that glitch, which I honestly thought was to do with the servers, it turns out it may not be. Basically you'll unlock it and then you'll try and leave the game, and it won't actually save it that you've been there. Now for me personally, I have one in Sheko, which is all the way down at the bottom of the map, where none of the fast travel markers actually unlock, meaning that I have to manually drive down there every single time I leave the game and relaunch it. So in terms of free roam, that glitch still remains. Next up, we're going to try the actual race servers. They're much faster overall. As you can see, we've already dodged one of the errors there where it tells you it's trying to connect to the server. That one seems to be completely gone, and you're actually able to get in races without the typical race connection error. So when it comes to the actual race errors, it would typically either happen on the loading screen into the event, which is typically the sort of lobby authentication error, I believe. At that point it will kick you out. You'd have to constantly rinse and repeat. I haven't ran into that one ever since the server updates. The next time is actually on the countdown to the race, where it may just boot you out sometimes. Every now and again, occasionally, it would happen in the middle of the race where it will just cut the race out entirely. Again, that one is pretty much gone. I got into around about 20 plus races yesterday without it actually booting me from a single race, which is much better than before, where it would typically happen every 3 or 4 races or so. However, the most frustrating one was the race lobby error once you'd completed it. So what would typically happen, you would go over the line, finish your event, you'd get the credits and all that stuff, and then it would actually do the race lobby error, kick you out, and then you wouldn't actually get the event to count, and you would have to repeat that same event multiple times and hope you win it against glitched AI at that point, which was extremely frustrating. So as you can see here, we're going to finish up the event and see if the error actually triggers. We're going to get a nice easy first place with this one. Now at this point was when the lobby error, or the race lobby error, would actually begin to kick in. It will start taking you through your XP, your money earned and all that stuff, and as soon as you went to go towards the leaving screen, it would just constantly boot you and you would have to rinse and repeat. This one was extremely frustrating, what between actually getting on the servers. Typically day one, if you managed to get on, you would run straight into this one and it would boot you and you'd have to rinse and repeat the events multiple times, sometimes upwards of 5 or 6 attempts before it actually triggers and counts that win. So there we go. So far so good. The first major update for Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown is here. It was purely about server maintenance, and it does seem that the game is up and running where it really should be. Again, bear in mind that only Silver and Gold Edition players are currently on the game. Tomorrow will be the full launch, and I guess time will tell to see if that kind of frazzles everything once again. However, compared to day one, this is a million times better than what we were seeing there. So overall, it is looking like the servers are working as intended to. This was something that I was majorly worried about, especially with the likes of the Silver players getting in. Would it cause more trouble? And it seems not at present. Now, of course, tomorrow we're going to have an even bigger influx of day one players from these standard editions. The game will be fully released tomorrow worldwide. So again, that may cause some hiccups, but I'm hoping that they've jumped on this early, performed the maintenance and got it working as intended for that final release. Now of course it isn't absolutely perfect at present. There is still a few glitches remaining. Again, as mentioned, the fast travel location one for me personally is insanely frustrating, that I have to manually drive down to one of the districts over and over again, especially if I want to kind of get into those events. So anyone who was affected with the Gold Edition server issues will be compensated as well, which is actually quite nice. That will come a little later down the line. Anyway, that's going to be it from me for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, guys. Peace.